Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu 5 and what you're looking at is a shadow box that I had hanging up at one point, and I'm switching walls and I'm going to take a particular knife out of here and replace it with a different knife. But my brother has brought the news to me and several other people that Ontario is being sold and is closing its stores. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you this knife. This is the Ontario Bagwell Gambler, and I got it for a good price. It wasn't abused, but you could tell it was used a little bit, and I've definitely used it myself in Battle Blades videos. And I used to have the Ontario Fortress, which is basically the Hell's Bell, but a different size. And I regret selling the Fortress, but I wanted a gun, and that's the thing about the Bagwell series of Ontario knives. You can generally flip them or sell them and get a gun with them. They're that valuable, depending on which one you have. But I decided to keep the Gambler. It didn't have the upward turned quillions for blade catching, but I decided to keep this one because it looked more traditional. And in my opinion, the Bagwell Ontario Gamblers, or the Bagwell Ontario buoys, were the best dueling bullies on the production market. And I would like to get more of them in my collection. But this one's definitely staying, and I'm gonna actually take this one out and put the Cold Steel Laredo in there because I really don't have a use for a general purpose buoy like the Laredo. And the Laredo is a good fighting buoy, but like when it comes to production buoy knives, people kind of consider the Laredo a general purpose do everything buoy, and they consider the Ontarios to be a pure fighter. And I just kind of figured if I wanted to carry a buoy knife for self-defense, I'd rather carry the Ontario. And I'm thinking about switching that one out. But before I do that, I wanted to show you my last Ontario purchase while the company was still technically alive. Got me a Amazon bag, and I'm gonna try not to show any personal information. The knife that I'm using is the Hiko Nagami. I've been enjoying this here lately. Very kind of cheap knife, but it's a Japanese forged folding knife. So I've been really enjoying it here lately, and it gets really sharp. But what did I get as my last Ontario? There's a lot of different choices. I bought my brother the Marine Radar buoy from Ontario for, I think, birthday or Christmas, and it's an awesome buoy knife, and it's a good reproduction of the Marine Radar buoy that was used, I think, in World War II, with some modern upgrades. And I thought about getting that, but I decided against it. One, I'm trying to save money for a gun, and two, it's just not something that I really use that often. And I'm not saying I'm going to use this on a regular basis, but I can legally carry this to school where I work without written permission. For those of you who don't know, if I wanted to carry a buoy knife or something like that to my job at the school, it can happen in one of two ways. One, they give it to me as part of my job and I can use it at my job, or if I wanted to carry it concealed, I'd have to get written permission as, a weapon, which is a good possibility that won't happen. But like if I wanted to carry something that's 6 inches or 7 inches or even a foot long, I'd have to get written permission, or they would have to give it to me as part of my job. And I actually have a kukri that they bought me as a machete. I know a guy, and he was like, "Hey, we'll get machetes for everyone. Do you want a kukri?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." But it was an M-Tech kukri. I wasn't going to get too picky, but yeah. So this is going to be a little nostalgic. But also it's one of the newer models, and it's taped, so I'm going to have to break out the Hiko Nagami to cut the tape. I was very interested in this knife when it came out a few years ago, but because I wasn't necessarily hunting at the time, I didn't get it. But I decided to pull the trigger. This is a 5.5 inch, or supposed to be 5.5 inch. It looks a little bit bigger. Old Hickory knife, and this is their hunting model. They kind of designed it to be a hunting bushcraft version of the Old Hickory, and it comes with a sheath. So that means, and the sheath is stiff. It seems, yeah, it's a little stiff, but I guess that's how it's supposed to. Nah, it needs to be broken in. Let me get behind the camera and see if I can get this in all the way. There we go. So theoretically, I'm going to measure it later. I can carry this to school as my EDC knife and use it, which I think is pretty cool. The sheath is, serviceable, but yeah, I can carry a Old Hickory. I don't like this. I don't like grabbing the level sheath like that, but yeah. So this is technically my last Ontario knife that I bought while they're still in business. And I thought I'd show that to you. Let's see how sharp this is. It's shaving sharp. They used to sell these at Walmart, and not this particular one because it's the newest that I know of the Old Hickory line. I think there's a smaller kind of Kephart version of it. I'm not sure which one's older or newer. But my granddad had Old Hickory knives in his kitchen. My dad had a couple of them. And at one point my brother had a huge one. Like it was a huge, like almost machete like Old Hickory. I don't know what happened to it.
Hey guys, we have an Ontario 14-inch Bowie knife, made in America. It's only $20. It's made out of 1095 steel, and the bevel was actually really nice from the factory, but I went ahead and put a razor sharp edge. So we're going to try this hardwood tree and see if it'll act as a good machete. So let's see what we got.
Nice. Nice.
It is cook some pizzas. So we didn't have a pizza cutter, so what we have here is an Old Hickory 14-inch butcher knife that I got today. And tomorrow we'll have some testing in the woods, but we're going to see if we'll cut up a pizza. So appears to be cutting nicely.
Yes. So we're gonna see how far this will bite in.
Wow.
But this is kind of the first one to ever come with a sheath, and that was designed to not just be in a kitchen or a toolbox or whatever. It was designed to carry with you as you did outdoor activities. And there was kind of a fad. I don't want to call it a fad, but there was kind of a trend to get Old Hickory knives and modify them to do certain things and make them better bushcraft knives and to get sheaths made for them. Old Hickory knives have been used in the woods and stuff for a long time, but this is the first one that Ontario OKC actually designed and meant for you, like they actually designed it so you can carry it with you in the woods. You didn't have to do anything aftermarket or after you get it. So that's it. That's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I kind of feel that Ontario Knives is going to go the way of Camilla's. Camilla's was another American knife company that sold and closed and then got revived by a Chinese company that doesn't quite make the same product as what the original company made. So I kind of think that's what's going to happen, but who knows. So that's it. By the way, OKC 1889. You know, this company's been around for a while. So that's it. I'm Asatsu5, and I'm out.